Alright, so last but not least, we will create a typical stroke protocol using the gammaStar front end. And therefore, based on the previous lectures, where you already got familiar with some of the MR sequences which are available from the front end, we would create a T1 weighted image, a T2 weighted image, some fluid suppressed flare image, and the diffusion weighted image, which are quite typical for clinical stroke protocols. Okay, so the first thing we need to create is a T1 weighted image. So therefore, we already got familiar with the flash sequence or with the 2D radial sequence. So for now, we'll use the flash sequence, which is capable of generating such a T1 weighted contrast. And as we've already learned, we can basically create a T1 weighted contrast by adjusting echo time and repetition time. So repetition time needs to be short to make sure that the relaxation of long T1 components basically does not occur, while the short T1 components would recover some signal. And the echo time needs to be short to make sure that there is no T2 decay during the process. So we can directly simulate the sequence and look at the result. And we see that we are quite good with such a T1 weighted image already. So the next thing we wanted to create is the T2 weighted image. Therefore, we already saw that the rare sequence is quite nicely suited for that, because the rare sequence basically allows us to generate T2 weighted contrast by using the refocusing pulses, which would prevent the T2 star decay by rephasing or basically refocusing the decayed magnetization. So we could open up the protocol window again, check the settings, and as we already know, with this setting we would probably end up with quite a lot of ghosting artifacts as we're not in steady state. So we would need to adjust that nonetheless. Yeah, that's our typical rare sequence image. So for a T2 weighting, we need to make sure that that basically the T1 values of our tissues does not have any influence on the generated transversal magnetization. That means we want to make sure that all T1 components basically fully relaxed. So we need to make the repetition time long, which is what we would want to do to get rid of these ghosting artifacts nonetheless. So we can simulate again and see what kind of effect that has on our image. And we see that already has gets rid of these artifacts. But we also see that this is somewhat more like proton density weighted, because now we have long repetition time. That means all magnetization from the longitudinal components basically recovered, but we also have not such a long echo time. That means there's not much T2 decay which occurred so far. So we could try different echo times, maybe at 100 here, and simulate the sequence again to see how that looks like. So we see that now we get some more T2 weighting in there, so we could even prolong that a bit further probably to validate the result. And now we see that we get some quite decent T2 weighting in here, because now the echo time is quite long. And that means depending on the T2 times of different tissue types, we excite the magnetization, we wait, and then we wait quite long until we do the measurement of our first data. So the excitation occurs here, first data measurement occurs here. In between we have the refocusing pulse. That means from here to here already quite some amount of signal decayed, and depending on the type of tissue, for example for the ventricles with the fluids, not much signal decayed, but for this gray and white matter regions, much signal decayed, so we get some weighting based on the T2 times in our images. Okay, so for the fluid suppressed image, we can basically add some sort of inversion recovery experiment from here, or we can just load up another gammaStar sequence, which is the 2D flare sequence, which serves exactly that purpose. So it already has a inversion pulse in there, and the rest basically is a rare sequence. Well, it's a rare sequence with added inversion recovery experiment. So inversion pulse in here, rare sequence here. So we could probably adjust the protocol parameters a bit, and we could try to get rid of the fluid component. So we probably would add a quite long inversion time because fluid components are quite long and repetition time should be long to prevent ghosting artifacts. And then we could just see what happens. And we see that we already get a quite good result. So fluids are suppressed, and rest of the tissue types is still there. So we could use that as some sort of flare image for our stroke protocol. So the final thing that we would need to do is we would open up a diffusion weighted sequence. So in here we have spin echo EPI diffusion weighted sequence, which we can add up. So as it's an EPI sequence, it might again load a bit longer than the previous sequences. And we're done. So the difference between this type of EPI sequence and the previous ones is basically that we have additional diffusion weighted gradients in here. So the first one does not have any diffusion weighted gradients, but for this one we see that we have this large portion of diffusion weighted gradients in the sequence. Same thing for here, or for the last repetition of this experiment. And we could basically check the protocol and adjust the diffusion weighted parameters in here. So for stroke protocol, suitable values would be, for example, 0 and 1000. So we could click apply and see whether it plots. Yeah, it plots. And then we can simulate our sequence and verify the result. And we see that we get 3 different images. So basically with our different diffusion weightings in there, which we could now use, for example, to calculate a ADC map, which gives us insights into the diffusibility of different tissue types. All right, so we are back from our gammaStar front-end experiment. So what did we see? The T1 weighted image can be created using a flash sequence with short echo times and short repetition times. T2 weighted image is best created using the rare sequence with long echo times and long repetition times. The fluid suppressed image can either be created by directly using the rare sequence and adding an inversion pulse, or using the special flare sequence from the protocol, where we add a long inversion time and a long repetition time to get rid of ghosting artifacts. And finally, the diffusion-weighted image can be created using the diffusion-weighted spin echo API sequence, for example, with b-values of, for example, value of 0 and value of 1000.